Hello, guys, and welcome to the newest episode of the Just Another Castle podcast, also known as the Nintendo podcast. With me today, we have Flea,
Where are you, Where are you, Mike?
because Mike didn't show. Who knows where he is? Matt.
Hello.
We also have Brooks, who is Military Veteran Gamer on MyGN.
Hey.
Alright, so we're here today to talk about, of course, Nintendo. So as always, why don't we begin with what we've been playing? So I've been playing a little bit more of Splatoon, not a ton of it. Still, I try to switch out loadouts and try a different weapon, but in the end, I'm just sticking with the one I began with, the Splattershot Junior or whatever. It's like a really fast fire rate weapon, and I find it's the most effective in order to cover turf. So that's what I like to use. And then on the what I also did is I played through about half the single player on Splatoon. And let me just say, those levels are so short. I started recording my gameplay to upload onto YouTube, and man, each of those levels takes anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes to beat. And considering so there's about 6 levels per world, so 6 times 3, 18. So you could be done in that game within 2 hours with a single player, which is unfortunate. I wish there were more levels.
I heard you can find some unlockables and stuff. What benefit do those have?
None. Yeah,
Really?
there was actually.
Excuse me, like the weapon that you mentioned earlier is some sort of a shotgun.
No. It's Splattershot. It's just a machine, pretty much a machine gun, I guess. It's really fast, a fire rate, and its range isn't great, but it's still pretty effective. Yeah. So and then for the single player, like the collectibles, yeah, there's scrolls and stuff to collect. Once you collect them, they just give you a little bit of backstory, I guess. But other than that backstory, there's no real benefit. In fact, there was some discussion on the Miiverse where some of the reviewers had found all the unlockables and it didn't unlock anything, which is unfortunate.
Wow. You can find sea snails though in the single player, correct?
Sea snails? I didn't recall. Maybe.
Okay, because I know you can use those to upgrade your gear some more.
Oh, I think that might be on the second playthrough. I think that there's some stuff on the second playthrough, which isn't available in the first playthrough, and that's the way that they extend it. That's kind of the gist I'm getting from the Miiverse community. So yeah, that's. Oh, I also bought Puzzles and Dragons, Super Mario Edition. I've been playing through that. It's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I recommend it. I got it for like $20, and it's totally worth it. So yeah.
Where do you get all these deals for games?
Well,
I got nothing.
I've got Gamers Club unlocked, which automatically gives me 20% off anything, so or 20% off all the games. The game's already $30, so that brought it down to 24, and then I had like $5 in a gift card, so brought it down to about 20. I don't think I've been playing anything else. What about you, Brooks?
I've been trying to play Super Smash Brothers Wii U at a friend's house and been getting the hell beat out of myself. So I decided to go back home and sulk a little bit and pull out the OTS. I played Mahjong Quest Expeditions. It's basically a Mahjong game with little Japanese tiles. You're essentially a guy who gets split in two, and he quests through the game to get himself reintegrated. There's also a game I'm thinking of playing, but I haven't unwrapped it yet. Metroid Prime Pinball.
Oh.
Brand new. Had it for a couple of years. Still haven't tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is originally developed for the DS, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that game also involved the development Retro Studio itself.
Yep. Sure did. Well done.
Yeah. All right. Have you been playing anything else on the non-Nintendo systems? Sometimes guests come on and they're not sure whether they can talk about non-Nintendo systems, but you totally can. Have you been playing anything? Yeah.
I did play Final Fantasy Tactics on the PlayStation, but that's about it.
Oh.
Also, I'm sorry. Also, I played Link to the Past on the DS as well.
Oh.
Game Boy Advance version.
Yeah, I actually own that version.
Everyone's played it except for Eli still.
Yeah, I own I own like 3 versions of the game, but I have yet to
I have to play that game.
beat it. Whoops. I'll do it this summer. As I promised you, Matt, I'd do it this summer. It's gonna happen. What about you, Matt?
Not really much. Just playing Smash, and I think I'm gonna give up on Pokemon. I already forget the name of the game. Pokemon Rumble World.
Oh yeah.
It's just like I played for it like every day, like constantly going through and trying to get everything, and then after I took like one day off, and I'm like, you know, it's not really fun. It's just more of a chore now. I'm just doing like the same thing. Like there's nothing really worth like. In a lot of games, I love to upgrade stuff, but all it is like increase how many coins you can get, or the range, or your attack. I'm like, just overall for your party, and it's like I don't really care anymore. It's not fun.
No. Yeah, I mean that's what Pokemon Rumble World has never been like that great franchise, but
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Is that it?
I want to get back to playing Wonderful 101 since I only played like one level of it. So I'll probably get to playing that. Yeah, I got it as Club Nintendo like free download or whatever, and then I played like the first level, which was the same as the demo, and then I don't know, I think I had school or I was playing Smash or something else in between, and then didn't get back to it. But I definitely want to get back to it now.
Man, when it came to Wonderful 101, I actually got the downloadable version. I paid full $60 for it. And I kind of regret it because, usually Nintendo games keep up in price, and so that's usually why I buy them at launch, as opposed to other games, which I usually just wait for a sale. But, man, the Wonderful 101 got down to like $12 at one point, so...
Well, you still got Pikmin 3 for free, right?
That is true.
Held out for that.
All right, last but not least, Flea, what have you been up to?
I'm absorbed by Monster Hunter. I'm literally absorbed with the game. I have almost, I think, 259 hours.
Man, that's child's play. I've been hearing people getting up to like 800, 900 hours. What's wrong with you, Flea?
Yeah, but I will get there shortly. It's such a good game. I mean, it's perfect. I love this game franchise a lot, and it's really perfect. And now that I'm going online a little bit more, even the community there and the people that are online are more, how can I put it, more friendly and more experienced with the game from the previous title, because in the previous titles, there were all of people were disrespectful and really arrogant and always say to someone who doesn't know the enemy, a noob, a stupid person, but this time, I mean, I don't know if I get lucky, but all the people that I have played online with in the game, they're really respectful people. And that's something that I'm really glad.
All right, well, yeah, it's good to hear. All right, Flea, anything else?
Yeah, a little bit more. I'm advancing to try to make. I know I'm trying to make. I'm still playing Bayonetta 2 on my Wii U, and I'm trying to make each level in each difficulty to get the platinum trophy. That is the maximum amount of score that you can get, and it's the best prize. But probably I'm going to set myself with the gold trophy. Because platinum is really difficult.
Well, actually, Flea...
Matt knows. If he played Bayonetta 2 a little bit, he knows.
Yeah, well, Flea, it's not...
trying to get, like, platinum in each level?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no.
There's something even higher.
You have to go to Muspelheim to also make the platinum there. So imagine the challenge.
Well,
the only time I ever got... Go on.
No. One thing that I want to say is that in the first 2 difficulty, I think is easy and normal. I got in the easy I got platinum. In normal I got gold, and now I'm trying to in climax 3. I'm trying to get also gold, but I still have the other one that is the most difficult one that I didn't touch it yet.
Yeah.
I only ever got gold. I think I don't even know if I got gold status for one of them on normal, but if I did, it was probably like a short and really straightforward level. But most of mine were like bronze or stone and maybe a silver or two.
Yeah, I got 2 golds, I think, 2 silvers, and then no bronze, and then the rest were just stones.
Yeah.
But
the last
but there's
difficulty,
actually
I mean, in the most difficult set, I think is Climax Infinite. When I played it the first time, I got stones in almost every level. But then when you replay the level and you get experience with the game and the characters, you can probably, I don't think platinum, but you can achieve for gold.
well, Flia, the one thing I do want to say is that there's actually better than platinum. There's the pure platinum or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I saw some people. You can't take a single hit for the whole level.
That's freaking impossible. You know, if this game was made available for multi-platform and you have to get the platinum trophy of the game of the full achievements, and the full achievement is to make all platinum, pure platinum, is impossible.
If only Mike liked that game, I'd like to see him go through that. That'd be nuts.
Nah. Probably even Mike, he knows that you have to have a limit. If he makes pure platinum in that game, I kill myself.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's all we've been playing. Went kind of quick this week, so why don't we get to news? And we'll begin, as we always do, with Amiibo news. So, first things first, the reprinted Marth that was released. Matt sent me this. That is just a better version of the old one. There's no derp face. Is what they call it, and it's pretty much what the original one should have been, and there's actually no real difference to tell between a new and an old Marth, so if anyone's looking for a first edition run, cough cough me, you can just pick up a new one, and it will not look any different.
The funny thing is, I think all they did was, like, move the eyes up, because if you look, I don't think they did too much to the face. It's just, like, before his eyes were way too close to his nose, and now they're, like, in the proper spot. It's weird. But it's good. They've definitely done better work on each Amiibo series, like as they've gone through each wave. Like the Splatoon ones look really good.
Yeah, the Splatoon ones, and that's probably more because they're striking a pose rather than being actual action figure or action in action.
Yeah, it's not based off of a pose, but yeah, like the quality, like it's shinier and it's better plastic, and there's no stupid stands or anything.
Yeah. Moving on, the rumor.
I got a question.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I have a question. Is NES supposed to be limited edition?
Well, okay. Well, first of all, almost all the freaking Amiibo are like limited edition because it's impossible to get any of them other than, say, Mario and Pikachu. Even the old ones, like, say, Kirby, they're really hard to find now. In Kirby, yeah, just look around. Matt, I don't know how it is in Canada, but we don't have them anywhere in stock here in America, Kirby's.
I'm just going to quickly Google some websites and see if they have them.
Yeah, and what I saw is, like, none of them have them in stock, and the only place I saw I could get a Kirby, like, the closest place was Toys R Us, which is half an hour away. But, like, none of the GameStops or Walmarts or anything have Kirby near me, which is really weird. So, I mean, they're only selling for like $20 on eBay, which isn't only like a $5 markup or whatever. But, man, these Amiibo are really hard to get a hold of. But yeah, so Ness is actually an exclusive to GameStop. And so he is super...
Seriously, I'm tired of all this exclusive thing. Nintendo should strictly open all Amiibo for all retailers, you know?
Well,
we'll get to how bad this gets in a second when he reads some other news, but yeah, go on, Eli.
Yeah, well, what I remember hearing, there was a rumor that for all of America, there were only 5,300 NES Amiibo, which is barely anything. That comes out to about 1 to 2 per store. And from what I understand, that's pretty much being right on the nail because when we went to pre-order, the systems all went down and they crashed because so many were pre-ordering at once. But only about 2 or 3 people on our line got a NES pre-order in, and then before they sold out, and all the employees that are right now at GameStop releasing the information, they're saying that each store is really only getting 2 to 3 NES Amiibo, and that's only to fill in pre-orders. So that one's going to be really rare, I bet. It's interesting.
And it's only at GameStop, too.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's because they probably saw sales of Earthbound on the Virtual Console, and they probably weren't that big. Because it's got a cult following, and everyone in the U.S. is screaming about it on the internet. But I really don't think there's as big of an audience as there seems to be. Yeah,
Sure.
if you know
But
what I
it's
mean.
still weird because like that Earthbound series is such a like if you try to find any of the cards online, it's like $200 for this game, and then like they have it on the eShop and whatnot, and then they're like, here's the character from that game that is so sought after that the game is like one of the highest priced like NES games, and here we'll have like 5 units of him, even though he's a character. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. Alright, so more Amiibo news. So there's rumored prototypes of the Mii Sword Fighter and Rob coming, which makes sense because Nintendo said they would make them eventually, so that's not really too much news. So now, okay, so some Amiibo or some retailers are actually limiting how many Amiibo people can buy, which is in order to fight resellers and scalpers and whatever. In fact, Target released a press release and a memo saying that they no longer sell to resellers, which, there's no way to really tell whether someone's a reseller or not, but it's there. So Nintendo of UK has mandated throughout the whole country at all the retailers they can have only one Amiibo per customer, per each type. So now all the retail stores that sell Amiibo, Game and whatever else they have in the UK, who knows, they're forced by Nintendo of UK to only sell one type of Amiibo per customer. And then in Target, they're doing 2 Amiibo per customer. I think Toys R Us has the same rule, and GameStop does too, actually. So
I'm wondering how. So I guess if you buy through the online store, I guess if you sign up with the address, it'll say like if you bought 2 and then tried to buy 2 again after the first went through. Is it going to say no? You can't buy anymore. You've already shipped to this address.
I think
is that how they would fix it?
I think so, because I think that's actually what they did last wave.
Okay.
There were people that actually ordered multiple Lucarios from Toys R Us through different orders, and they actually went in and canceled all the additional ones.
Oh, that's what that whole deal was, yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure. Here's another one. Target and GameStop actually said this too, but there's not going to be any replenishing of the Wave 4 Amiibo. So pretty much whatever sells out on Friday, it's done. Like, no restocks, which kind of sucks.
I'm going to have to be at Toys R Us 8 in the morning or whenever they open.
Yeah, well, so I have my plan. I'm going to begin at one Target. I'll get there like 6 or 7 a.m. Then I'm going to go to a different Target. And then I'm going to go to Toys R Us. And then hopefully I'll get everything I need.
This is like a Mission Impossible style thing where you got to have like a couple of people in all different locations like set up ready to move in once the time hits. They'll synchronize their watches.
Going in. Yeah, I mean, it's so screwed up. Luckily, I do want to, before just reminding our readers, before you go to Target, make sure to call ahead of time, because only 3 out of 4 stores are getting Lucina and Robin, so that means 25% of the stores are not. So make sure you call ahead of time, make sure they have it, because you don't want to wait in line or before opening for multiple hours and then them not have any, because that would suck.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
You're already selling things that, Lucina and Robin aren't exclusive, but it's so dumb. You're selling this product and you can't even bother to have at least one unit at all the stores.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not technically false advertising, but I mean, I guess it is in a way if they have it in the ads, like, come buy this thing, and then, oh, no, we don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just stupid.
And it's not
even a business practice, just a stupid decision.
It's not so much Target's fault. It's not so much Nintendo's or Target's fault. It's Nintendo's, because Well, the amiibo come in cases of 4, right? So what happened is there's like 1,800 target locations, and all of America's getting like 6,000, or all of the targets in America are getting like 6,000 of the Lucinas or Robins, and so each store can only get individual or sets of 4. So what happens is that the way Nintendo ships it is in packs of 4. So all stores, or 75% of the stores, will have 4 of them, and then 25% of stores will have none. So it's more Nintendo shipping. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, Brooks. Oh, yeah,
Brooks?
go on.
It's brilliant marketing, actually. Supply and demand. They got people going crazy for these things.
No, definitely, but it just seems weird to have at least not a couple of units at
no
all
doubt.
stores.
It's completely
It's
asinine.
like at least have one unit at a store, because like how can you have supply and demand if you don't have any of the product?
Yeah, it's
I
completely
think
asinine, but they're making their money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, agree. And I think that what's really dumb is that Nintendo knows that every single amiibo since the first wave is still having a higher demand than ever, and they're still doing the production in the factory on the same level at the start. So I don't know if they expected this or they knew this, so they're still going to do this type of tactic until I don't know how many years from now.
Well, the thing is, Nintendo just doesn't have the capability to print so many amiibo, and they're not a toy company. They can't print. I mean, this Friday, for example, there are, I think, a total of 13 different amiibo either being released or re-released. So you got, I think, 8 or 9 from Wave 4, plus you got the Splatoon amiibo, plus you got Silver Mario from the Mario set, plus you got restock for Meta Knight. And Shulk is coming soon. So the thing is, like, you got 13 or 15 different types of amiibo, and Nintendo just doesn't have the factory capability to print massive quantities. Plus, since these are figurines, they take a loss for each one they don't sell. So they need to ship. They're trying to guesstimate how many they need. But for them, it's much better to undership by 10,000 units than to overship by 10,000 units, because if they undership, they still made money. But if they overship, then they lost money.
I agree. They will still have the demand in the next month.
Yeah.
They do estimates, economics, and probability and statistics in economic. When you have a higher demand every time and you can supply that quota, the demand will still be there the next month.
Yeah.
I think it'll get better after all the Smash Bros. Amiibos are out, because there's 50 of the gosh dang characters. So like each wave they have to be like, here's another like 8 to 10 more. We gotta shoot these things out like quick, because we've got another like batch to do. But after Smash Bros. Is out, they won't have to worry so much, because they'll only have like 3 to maybe 5 characters for a given game. Like Splatoon has 3, like Yoshi's Yarn just has 3, and maybe some off-brand ones. But other than that, they won't have to pump out like so many at one time. So it should be more manageable.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think the situation's already a little better. Just like, for example, looking on eBay, I'm pulled up here right now, Marths, which we're selling for like $80-$90 after the restock. Even though the restock, remember we were reading news, it was a really small restock. They're selling for $30 now, which is, I mean, it's more than 13, but it's a hell of a lot less than $90. If I look up a different one here, I'll look up Ike Amiibo, which just got a restock as well at GameStop. Those are selling for as low as $25. So we're getting to a point where if you really want an amiibo, it's a little more manageable, I think. And you still got ones that are more expensive, like Rosalina amiibo. I'll look up. That one's still selling for, I mean, even that's not too bad. It's $35-$40, which is, I mean, it's terrible, the fact that it's $13 toy selling for $40, but at least it's not $112 like what I paid for Villager, So I think the condition is slowly improving. Alright, and then the last piece of Amiibo news is that Nintendo World Store will have all the Way 4 Amiibo, including retailer exclusives and Silver Mario, on May 29th. They generally have pretty good stock. They had like 150 Marths for the restock, which is really good. Yeah, apparently they were in stock for like more than a day. So if you wanted to get one, you could have just gotten one if you lived in New York. But unfortunately, that just sucks for the rest of the U.S., you know? Especially someone who lives, say, in Kansas and doesn't have a Target in a 3-hour radius, that kind of sucks. Because there's no way for him to get a Jigglypuff. And, I mean, even for me, the nearest Toys R Us, as I said, is like 30, 40 minutes away, and that kind of sucks.
It's almost as bad as the Blue Shell Mario Kart 8 edition, where it was literally the only store you could get it.
Oh, yeah, that really sucked.
In North America, that was, like, the dumbest decision. But, Brooks, you said you were wondering about the NES Amiibo, so are you interested in, like, getting an Amiibo, or...?
No, I know somebody who was looking for it, so I wanted to acquire.
Cool.
Alright, so, Brooks, how about from an outside perspective? You know, week after week we hear people like me who are crazy about Amiibo, and then Matt, who's like a casual fan, and Flea, who likes them too. But what about you? You know, you haven't really bought any. You don't own a Wii U, so you really have nothing to do with them if you bought them. So
none of us really do that have a Wii U anyway, but
yeah. But from an outside perspective, what do you think about Amiibo? Because honestly, looking at Skylanders, I'm like, man, these people are crazy.
I think it's one of the single most brilliant products to ever be produced for video games. I mean, I've never seen anything have this much of a fever to possess. I mean, nothing. This is incredible. Now, it would be nice if they were to say, do something with the supply, but, I mean, it's brilliant. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and obviously...
Absolutely.
Yeah, and obviously they're selling a lot since they said over 10.5 million have been sold in just
it's like the last couple of months of
yeah,
last year.
in pretty much up until March 31st, 10.5 million, which is December, January, February, March. So 4 months on the market, okay? So after a year that's 32 million, that's over $300 million in revenue. That's ridiculous. So yeah, it's definitely doing really well, and that's only Nintendo. I mean, Skylanders has the benefit of being on every single system imaginable, you know. So yeah, but have you ever thought about picking one up? Maybe grabbing one from your childhood just to put on the shelf.
Nah, because I know if I get one, I'll be wanting the rest of them too. So it's like,
yeah, you're better off.
Join the club. Or don't. You'll save a lot of money.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, why don't we move on? By the way, Flea, how many Amiibo do you have?
I have 14, 15.
Holy shoot. Jeez.
Let me say if I remember them. I have all of them, like I said before, I want all of the Smash Rooster only. I don't care about the other Amiibos.
Whoops.
I still don't. The only one that I want is I want all the Smash Rooster in my home. I want all of them, even Mewtwo.
Yeah.
I hope they have a Mewtwo one.
Yeah. I think they will do it. It would be really stupid if they didn't do it. I think. Let me see. I have. Okay.
It'd be a good way to remind people of the DLC.
I have Mario, Bowser, Sonic, Mega Man, Link, Toon Link, Princess Zelda, Princess Peach, Chic. Let me see. I don't remember. I think I have Marth. Not Ike. Who was first on the waves?
Marth was first.
Ike or Marth?
Marth was first.
Yeah, Marth. I have Marth. I have Kiri. I have one Pokemon. I don't remember. I think I have Lucario, the one that was exclusive, right?
Oh yeah, that's Lucario.
Yeah. Lucario, and I'm forgetting one. I have 14 or 15.
All right. All right. Well.
But remember, here I'm in Argentina, so I have the demand with my importer that I say to him that I want all the amiibo, and he's retrieving when he can, you know?
Yeah, he's trying. He's doing his best.
Yeah. Putting him through hell. He's like, I gotta get all these gosh dang things.
Yeah. The order was, when they announced the amiibo, he said, well, what? How many do you want? I said, all of them. When? Now. I want them now.
All right. So why don't we move on to the non-amiibo news? All right. So, pulling up.
It's funny though that we have now a segment of the amiibo in the podcast.
Well,
that's how powerful the amiibos are, MBG.
Yeah, the rule Nintendo land right now. So Nintendo has hired a new vice president of sales. Okay, this only made news because this guy's last name was Bowser.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't really matter what that they hired someone new. I don't think that's important. But the important part is Bowser's on the job. But
he's trying to sabotage Mario from the inside.
Yeah. But here's some big news. So now the biggest shareholder of Nintendo is now a U.S. company. This is okay. People kind of underplay this because apparently the Wall Street Journal and the International Business Times, whatever, they all talked about the fact that this mutual fund, this investor in Nintendo, they generally don't really do anything. They just kind of lie low and reap the profits. However, I think it's rather significant that now the biggest shareholder is an American company because they might influence them to either A, have a larger presence in the U.S. in terms of bringing stuff over and stuff, or B, trying to nudge Nintendo to modernize in terms of the console market.
Either of your statement. What I think that is positive if it's an American shareholder is that they would like to enter in a way in the competition, with the Sony and Microsoft. I mean, in the future of Nintendo systems.
Yeah, so that would be modernizing.
That's really something that we have to see.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, and even if they are taking a small role in the company and not really being influential, they still can be they still hold sway. So if there are conflicting ideas and part of Nintendo wants to put out a crazy new system and the other half wants to be nah, we should actually do something pretty standard.
Yeah, no, what I really imagine is that when they are in the board meeting with Iwata as CEO, and if they are the major shareholder, is some sort of pressure knowing that your system is the worst in that country, in North America, regarding the competition, It's some sort of psychological pressure, saying that, for example, we are doing okay, blah, 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 handheld, it's okay, blah, 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 but on consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is ahead of us. So that's really a psychological pressure for Nintendo.
Well, the funny thing is that most shareholders were saying, yeah, we want you to bring games to iOS. And Nintendo's already doing that, so I don't know how they could negatively affect the company if that was the one thing they were worried about.
What we were talking with my friends this weekend, this Saturday, was one friend of mine says, we are all Nintendo fans. And one friend of mine said, what happened in the next Nintendo system, Nintendo NX, has really a huge amount of power. I mean, for example, 12 microprocessors, 8 gigabytes of video card, and everything that you decide. What the hell will happen? It will sell? It will not sell?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depended on how they approached it, because if you got the third-party support, as I've been taught, I think if the Wii U launched, and it had the same power as it had 8 gigs of RAM or whatever, because that's the golden number. I think if it had 8 gigs of RAM, it had achievements, it had full party system and all that, and then it also got every single third-party game on board. And as I talked about this a few years ago when this was actually an issue. Now it's a lost cause. But if Nintendo went to each third party and be like, all right, here's $10 million to make the Wii U version of your game. You can pay us back if you make the money back. If not, it's fine. It's our loss. And if they got a system where they had 8 gigs RAM, whatever, it was a powerful system, had all the functionality that the other systems had, plus
the games,
plus every single third-party game, I think it would be a much more appealing system. I think it would sell a lot better.
What you are saying is that the reborn of the SNES. So you're going back to that era, because in the Super Nintendo, that's what Nintendo did. It had all the third-party games.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
it's sad because
that era.
It's sad because I think even if Nintendo does all those things that we want for the next console and shows them off to start, I don't think it'll be enough right off the bat to get people, because Nintendo's already burned those people that were looking for that and moved on to other systems. So now Nintendo has to do even more to prove to those people that moved on to something else that they can actually do it.
I don't know, Matt.
Because these other companies have already been doing it for years.
I think that they're trying to. I think that there's a lost market, and that lost market is honestly my age group. Like the 18 to 25 or 15 or 25 demographic. I think that's a lost cause, because they've already been gaming on Xbox, PlayStation for the last 10 years now. They've built up a certain amount of friends, and they've got a profile, so they've built up achievements. Like, they're gonna be really hesitant to move on to a different ecosystem. But I think the two markets that are available to Nintendo are, number one, the older demographic that has, grown up on Nintendo and maybe remembers some of that. And that pretty much makes up a large part of Nintendo's market right now, are those adult gamers, but I think there's more to be recruited from there. And then I think the second demographic is the one that they currently have, the kids, the ones that are 3rd and 4th graders who might also have an Xbox or a 360 or Xbox One, PS4 instead, but they're not really into the ecosystem. They're not really into the online play all that much. They don't care about the achievements. They're just there to play, Minecraft or Plants vs. Zombies or whatever it is, on these systems. And they could recruit those people, because those people aren't so engrossed in the current ecosystems of the Xbox and PS and PlayStation. So I think to a certain extent, I don't think other kids my age who have been gaming on Xbox their whole teenage lives are going to be jumping on the new Nintendo system. But I think if they rebranded, got a new name and all that sort of thing, they could recruit the older demographic and that younger demographic to switch over.
What we are not, excuse me that I interrupt you, Eli, is that what we are not accounting is that Nintendo now is also in the cell phone market and in the smartphone market. If they somehow do a very smart move, knowing that people that have phones play their mini games or whatever, and they do some sort of integration type of technology with the new system,
go for it, bingo. I was just about to bring that up. Continue, please.
Yeah. And if they do some sort of integration system with the next console, perhaps that would be the bingo,
Yeah.
For example, let me put an example here. I have a smartphone. My cousin has a smartphone. All my family has a smartphone. If we have the same Nintendo app or the same game, and we are playing when we are going out or when we're doing some stuff, we'll play a little bit. And then when we come home or gather our weekends, we can, some sort of transfer or some sort of functionality with the new system. People will want to have it.
Yep. Brooks, what were you going to add? Because obviously your perspective is very important. You're kind of you bought a Wii and a DS, so you were in the Nintendo, I keep saying the word ecosystem, but in a Nintendo ecosystem for a while, and you're no longer inside of that, since you don't have the Wii U or the 3DS. So what would it take for Nintendo to get you in?
Okay, the first thing they need to do is establish more robust online play. Give me some online. Number one. Number two, give me an online profile that's not locked to a console.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Number three, give me a more robust virtual console. Nintendo has more games than all the rest of these publishers combined. Come up from the NES all the way through. Plus, they probably have access to Sega's games and probably specific third parties. They have more games than anyone. They would have the greatest lineup of games ever seen. That's what I want. Also, I want to see cross-platform play. It's like what's being mentioned with smartphones and things. I want to see these different Nintendo consoles, handhelds, being played together on this new console. Meaning, if I have a DS, or if I have a 3DS, I can play a specific game, but if I use it with the new console, it'll unlock different modes. And that way, people who play one particular game can play. I'm on the console and they're on the 3DS. We can play the same game.
I completely agree.
I think at least one of those is being addressed, which is the connectivity of multiple accounts, which they're trying to do with
they said
this new account system.
They said pretty much by the end of the year they should have the unified accounts. But once again, it's 10 years too late. But good that they have it.
Yeah, but they know the issue. You want to specifically talk about integration, you know? They know that integration is one of the main focus now with Dena, with this partnership with Dena.
Believe it or not, a lot of people who have PS4s, Xbox Ones, etc., a lot of these people, they won't come out and admit it, but a lot of these people will play Nintendo games if they had an opportunity. So that means if Nintendo gets all those third-party games they like, they'll be right there.
Yeah,
to give them a comparable experience to the PS4 or the Xbox One, plus Nintendo classics and extra modes, they're coming right back.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I think, and they need the press. They need to have the good marketing because, like, PlayStation and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are so similar. In fact, Xbox is $50 cheaper, and PS4 is still beating it month after month after month, except for last month. And that's just in the U.S. PlayStation is still dominating in Europe and Japan and America most months, and that's 100% due to marketing. Excuse me. How can games like Infamous come out, which are 100 times worse than... I mean, Infamous was okay, but compared to, I'm sorry, anything on the Wii U, you know, the Infamous sold $1 million copies in like its first week, and then something like Bayonetta comes out and sells a tenth of that. So I think you are completely right, and in everything you said, I think the unified system needs to be there. The online 100% needs to be there because it's such an important part of gaming today. Even though Nintendo fans won't admit it, it's so important, and the marketing needs to be there. Like if they came out and did a killer press event, like Sony just keeps putting on, I think it'd be there.
What also would be really cool if they sort of figure out some sort of passive gaming with your friends. For example, if you are playing the full version of, for example, a Super Mario game on the next Nintendo system, and I'm friend with you in the Nintendo network, I can still help you with blocks or with superpowers at least one time in one level if I know that you are playing that game when I'm with my smartphone, you know. What I'm trying to say is that if Nintendo can figure out a way of people passive play also with their friends, is also some sort of jackpot. I mean, I can think of thousands of ideas for franchises like Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and all of those passive plays with your friend. For example, if Matt is playing Pokemon and he's mega evolving them or playing through the story mode in the next Nintendo system, myself, because I'm his friend with the cell phone, I can give him hints of the Pokemon that he doesn't have on the map, for example, and he can go there. That's sort of way of passive play, what I'm trying to say.
That would be brilliant.
Another thing I was thinking about is perhaps having a smartphone game, or app, which was like the Nintendo app or whatnot, and there was like a game you'd play, like, I don't know, decorate your house or something like that. And then as you played Nintendo games on your consoles and or 3DS or whatever they have, you would unlock items in this central game. Like, I mean, obviously you could have an Animal Crossing game, and then you unlock things in the home version for this game on the smartphone. But I think there should be like one Nintendo game, just for everything on the smartphone, and I could walk into Matt's house and be like, "Oh, cool! He played this game and that game and that game," or whatever they ended up doing. I don't know, pinball. Make your own pinball table. I don't know. But the point is, like, as you would play the games on the home console, you would unlock stuff in this large game on your phone. I think that's another thing they could possibly do. But yeah, so I think that we kind of just touched on it. Is Mike here?
Maybe. I think so.
Oh, Mike is alive. I guess he just showed up. He decided to come in. Thanks, Bud, for showing up.
Yeah, I can do what I want. I'm like the golden member, man. Like people pay for me.
Yeah. Let's be honest here. People in my newsfeed ask for Mike. They don't care about us.
Yeah. So you guys are all like, you're like, yes, now we got a podcast. This is just the beta.
It's like you are Banjo and I'm Kazooie,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not there.
All right, Mike. The big question is, how much money did you make last week off playing Smash Brothers?
Ironically, there's like no tournaments, man. I had my finals week, so I was all studying up in here.
That sounds Johnnin. That sounds like you're.
I hate Jonathan, man. I'm telling you, all these people are like, they also go to school, believe it or not. So I think I only made like $20, like legit, like one tournament. No, 25. So I got some gas money. So we live in another day, guys.
25 is two amigos. So.
Nice. Yeah, exactly, man. And freaking, I got that plat from Rogue Legacy last night, so I got a headache from not sleeping. So it worked out. Good week.
All right. So you're playing Rogue Legacy. Tell us a little bit about that.
What happened?
Tell us a little bit about Rogue Legacy, since you were playing that.
I did briefly mention it because I just started it last week. So, like I said before, it's like, if anyone's played like that Spelunker game, I heard it's similar to that. They call it like roguelite, so apparently that's like a new genre or whatever. So essentially, you pick a knight. It's got RPG elements, which you only level up from the gold, which builds up basically how your stats. So you want to get more, if you want to have more attack, you pay more gold, and of course, the more you build it up, the more it costs gold. But the real cool thing about the game is not only equipment and leveling up, but they have things called magic runes, right? And those give you like special abilities. So like some games, like, oh man, I can double jump in this game. This game I can't do that. So the magic runes, they work for each part of your equipment. So helmet, chest, boots, sword, and boot. I can't. I was about to say boots again, but I can't think of the fifth one right now. But essentially, each of the magic runes goes like, oh, you have an extra jump, so you can get up to 5 jumps in the game, 5 air dashes or low dashes. Like you can make the enemies weaker with this, and basically, like, playing the game, like, I didn't think I would enjoy it that much. It's legitimately about a 4-hour game, gameplay-wise. Like, I realized when I got my platinum, but, like, the first time you play, you die at least 120 times, and it's just, like, it's kind of addicting. So it's, like, 20 hours right there. Like, the bosses are really challenging. There's hidden bosses and all that. But it's one of those kind of, like, Mega Man-esque platformers where you just keep going at it. Like, the point is you're gonna die, But it was free last month on PS Plus, I think we mentioned.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get it then, or like whatever, then it's like $15, and I don't think it's worth 15. But I mean, and I did enjoy the game, but it's me. I would never pay anything for an indie. Like anything above like 5 cents might be too much for an indie. So,
Right. You still need to buy Shovel Knight.
Yeah, it's gonna be free on Vita, or I'm gonna just get it for the Xbox so I can play with the Battletoads, man. That's what it's about. Unless Nintendo announces like some sort of like special thing. We said the guy was thinking about Tingle, right? Like, which is not cool, but maybe if we get like a cool like enemy boss thing with Nintendo, I'll definitely get it for that. It's not cross-buy, right? 3DS and Wii U.
I know. You have to buy them separately.
You think Nintendo is going to start doing cross-buy kind of promotions with the new website coming out?
Hopefully. I mean, they did Donkey Kong was cross-buy, right? So hopefully.
Which Donkey Kong?
All right, I do want to.
Yeah, Mario versus Donkey Kong. How dare you guys say Donkey Kong? That game's a crime. It's because no one bought it, so like, yeah, we need to boost up the incentive. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. We'll move on to a few of these other pieces of news. Wii U 8 GB has been discontinued in Japan, which is whatever. It's been pretty much discontinued here for a few years anyway. Star Fox 2 was actually a completed game, but it's probably never going to be released due to copyright issues. All right.
The copyright issues, like I don't get that. Like, why wouldn't it be released?
Pretty much their issues since the developer was Argonauts. There's something about credit and like the fact that they don't know whether they have rights to release it since the rights still might belong to this dead studio.
So they gotta team up the whole dead studio, make them a company again, and then release it, and then they can business.
Yeah, I don't know the technicalities, but yeah. Nintendo World Championship, also known as Nintendo America 8 Best Buy Championships.
Yeah. That's like the whole world, right? Like I didn't know there was anything past like Best Buy, apparently.
Yeah. So there's 8 locations. I'm pretty sure that half of them are either in California or New York. It's great that we have 2 states represented. Then
it's the world, man. Come on, nobody cares about not California, not New York.
So then there's also Miami, Dallas. No idea where Schaumburg is, and Tacoma. Nowhere in Colorado, nowhere in Canada. I don't think what can you do? So pretty much they're going to be playing games from the NES Remix on 3DS. They're going to be score-based challenges, and then the winner from each location will be sent to LA to compete, plus 8 people that Nintendo is going to invite. I'm pretty sure that some of those 8 are media people, cause I might have some insider information. So
wait, Dakota's going?
No, Dakota's not going.
Oh, okay.
All right. Fire Emblem. If there are some new details on this, and this comes from Mike read through the information, so I didn't have to. Thanks, Boo. Or did I say Mike? Dang it,
How many times
Matt.
We're gonna have to go through this. Mike could be like dead and gone for like a year, and you'd still call me Mike. I was like, I didn't read anything. I'm pretty sure I was like an out. So.
All right. So Matt, thank you for that, and I'm so sorry. Hey, to be fair, like the number of times my name gets butchered is unfathomable. So
0.
Dude, it's Eli spelled with an A at the end. Come on. Let's see. So I remember a teacher took roll one time a few years back, and he was going through. It was like really official. He's like, Mr. This person, Miss this person. So of course he goes like, Miss Pals, and I'm like, actually, I'm a guy. Sorry, man. So new details. Number 1, weapons no longer have a limited number of uses. So number 2, some of the characters have an ability called Dragon Pulse, which allows them to actually affect the map that they're playing on, so they can build bridges or make earthquakes, flatten mountains, etc. There are a total of 9 save data slots, which is huge. However, some of those slots are, if you think about all the different routes through DLC and stuff you can take, it comes out to, I think, about 4 slots per scenario, which is still a lot compared to 3 slots for all the previous Fire Emblem games. And then there's, I guess, a super weak mode for people who are pussies, where fallen units are revived on the next turn. However, maybe this is just a super hard mode. I don't know whether this is the enemies getting revived or your character is getting revived. So
it's probably just yours.
Yep. So there's that. And then the other details are there's now some extra weapons added. So magic bows and hidden weapons are added to the weapon triangle. It's like Pokemon pretty much. You got different types are good against other types. I guess the game's coming out June, I believe, in Japan, and next year in the US. For the 3DS, there's like 5 different versions. Yeah.
So what I wanted to know from you, Eli, is the fact that weapons no longer have a limited number of uses. So before, if you used it like, I don't know, 10 times, like your weapon would break and you'd have to use like your secondary weapon or whatever. You're a fan of Fire Emblem, correct? So how does that rule affect you a lot,
right.
or
so
not really?
I'd like to think, like, on one hand, I'm like, man, this kind of sucks, because I'd like to have a place where, where it actually matters, and you strategically have to get new weapons, and you got to do cost versus balance, and, like, which weapon am I going to use because I don't want it to break, right? Except it doesn't really matter, because from playing through Fire Emblems, in most games, it's pretty easy to get gold and stuff. So weapons will usually have like 35 uses or whatever. So I could use them throughout several maps, and then by the time it's time to replace them and buy a new weapon, I just have so much money that it doesn't really even matter that I have to buy a new weapon. I don't know if anyone else here played Fire Emblem.
I played one of them on the GBA.
What, Mike?
It's also not that good.
What'd you say, Mike?
It's just mainstream crap that I'll never play.
All right.
If everyone plays Awakening, I'll never play it.
Mike, shut up. But yeah, so I don't think it's going to be a huge change. I think the new weapons triangle is going to be a little more interesting, more strategic. It's going to be a pain in the butt to memorize that weapons triangle again. It's easy to remember fire, grass, and water, because that actually makes sense. But, why is lance good against axe, and why is axe good against sword, and why is sword... Like, that doesn't make sense, as it is.
I get lance against axe because lance is long and axes are shorter, but then how the heck does an axe beat a sword? Like, I don't know, that's weird.
Yeah.
But I guess they have to figure out something.
So it's gonna be... I don't know, Brooks, have you ever played a Fire Emblem game?
No.
Nope. Alright, so these changes don't affect you either. I think if you want, since you got the DS, or actually a GBA, I think the GBA version is better. You could try picking up one of the GBA versions of Fire Emblem. I'm sure they're probably not too expensive to pick up. It's a really good game. It's long. It's fun to play. So if you're ever in the mood for a strategic role-playing game, I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
Alright, news. Project Cars is probably dead on the Wii U, which is sad. Apparently, their current build is running at a whopping 23 frames per second.
That's good. What is that, like? Better than Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, sure. And it's going at 720p, which I guess isn't a huge deal, but when you're going 23 frames per second, that's not good for a racing game. Mario Kart was at 60. So it sucks too, because this game was actually, like, the biggest following was for the Wii U version, and about a year ago there was a poll where people said, which version are you most looking forward to, and the Wii U version actually won. This is that one extra, that one third-party game that would actually do really well on the Wii U, and it just sucks because it looks like it's not going to happen.
Wait, that's for the people who are doing
gameplay? Or, like, you're just going off the 23 FPS word?
Well, so they say that right now it's running at 23 frames per second. They said it's probably not going to be worth the effort, and they won't be able to get it up to 30. Which is like, what the hell? They said they might make it for the next Nintendo system, though, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Port that over.
It
sucks for the people who donated money, because it's like they made this poll and they're like, oh, okay, the Wii U one's going to be like the one they work forward to, and then it's like, I'm going to give money because they'll make a Wii U version, and then they never showed any details on the Wii U version, like screens or anything, and then they're like, oh, well, all versions are delayed, and then, oh, only the Wii U and like PC versions are delayed past the other consoles, and we still haven't shown anything, and now it's probably not happening.
Yeah. Alright, some other quick news. Shadow of Eternals is still alive, which is Dennis Dyack in that studio. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is probably going to come to the Wii U if it reaches $3 million, which it probably will. Now, this next piece of news is a little bit strikes my soft side. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is coming this winter. I
Yeah,
love.
you called that. You called it last week, I believe. You said it was going to be announced in E3, but you called it.
Did I?
Kudos, Eli. Yeah, man. I remember. You said there's going to be a new Pokemon game, and you said most likely it might be a mystery dungeon. I remember that. And I was like, that's a good call. But you said that was for E3, so I take it all back. Doesn't count.
So maybe wow. If I did that, I don't even remember. Maybe wow.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I kind of remember. When it was announced, I wasn't impressed, and I was like, somebody told me this. There's only a few guys I talked to about Nintendo.
Maybe. But this. So let's see. So Matt here wrote in parentheses. There's a third 3DS game, which not really, because what we were talking about, Brooks, is the fact that up until last week, there were only 2 Nintendo 3DS games announced for the whole rest of the year, and it was Puzzles and Dragons Z and Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, which is a little pathetic. And so Matt's saying this is the third game, but the problem is, Matt, that Puzzles and Dragons came out already, so it's still 2 games for the rest of the year.
Well, third is
Puzzles and Dragons. Is this by chance kind of like an RPG, but it's like trivia based?
It's not trivia. It's like a match 3 puzzle game. So I guess like Bejeweled, except it's a lot different because.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
There's a demo out at MPG, so it's like if I played around with the demo, like I enjoyed it more than I ever would, like than I thought I would. Like I hate like Bejeweled and all those other apps and stuff, but it's like then I played it. It was like it gives like a unique twist where it's you can move basically those matching icons anywhere on the screen. But like at first you don't know, you're acting like it's like Bejeweled, or like oh everything has to stay in place. Like you can get like some sort of like 6 like 19 combo thing, like you level up your guy. You actually level up and get Mario creatures and stuff. Like it's really unique and different. Like and I'm glad it's not full price either. It's only like $30.
Yeah, for 2 full games. So I think it's really good. And honestly, it's out on iOS. Actually, you can Brooks, if you want to, you could actually download Puzzles and Dragons on iOS.
Okay.
And I would honestly, I'd much rather just pay $15 per game once and have the whole game than every 10 minutes it asking me for money. So for me, I think it's a lot better. As for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, I'm super excited for it. However, the last Mystery Dungeon game that came out, I forgot what it's called. The last one that came out for 3DS, it was weak sauce. Like, come on, it was made for 5-year-olds, and
aren't they all though? I
no,
mean, not trying to be rude, but they all look like really simple. Like,
well, not really. The previous games actually. So first of all, this game actually didn't even have all the Pokemon, which is super lame. But the previous games were actually challenging. Like they were like roguelikes in the element that the dungeons would be like 99 floors and it would be intense. And actually, I had tons of fun playing through the first and second game. The third game was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first and second. And then this fourth game was just terrible. So
I didn't know there was that many, to be honest. The first one was for DS, right?
Yeah, it was for Game Boy Advance and DS. There was a version for each system.
Okay.
Yeah, did you try it out? Do you like it?
I've never played it. My brother had it, actually. I actually was pretty interested in it. He got it, and then, like, he just got it. And I was like, I'll get to it one day. I'll just download it on my R4. Just never did. But, you know, like, maybe I'll pick this one up. But, like, I'm kind of, like, right now, the 3DS has been, like, so dead, like, market-wise. It's been dead for me, like I've beaten everything I wanted to, almost. On the, like, I think the only games I want to play left are, like, Tomodachi and Fire Emblem, if someone would give it to me, because I can't afford to support Nintendo with that terrible franchise. You know? Yeah, the only thing I could think of that I'd want is like Codename Steam. Oh yeah. I mean, it's like it's either like Fire Emblem or like Codename Steam. Like yeah, I just can't think of anything I really want for my my 3DS right now. And it just the dead market does not help it either. I mean, I would get like all the games I wanted to right away. And like the third-party support games, I'd get them. So like, oh Nintendo, look, I buy Japanese games, so make yourself region free.
By the way, did you guys hear this rumor about how many, or not rumor, but, yeah, it is a rumor, but pretty much the insider at MPD revealed data about how many units Codename Steam sold. Did you guys hear about this?
No. I heard Trozy got downloaded like 4 million times.
Oh, yeah. Pokemon Shuffle 4 million times. which is good. But Codename Steam sold a pretty bad 31,000 units in the U.S.
That's pretty terrible.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, and did you hear how many sold in Japan? Oh my god,
No.
about 1,200.
Yeah, well, it had too many Americans. Like, they wouldn't know. Like, you said that when you first came out. It's like I don't even know the characters in the books, and it's like they're based off American history and stuff or whatever.
Yeah. So I think about worldwide right now, it's probably sitting around 50,000. Multiply that by $30 a game that Nintendo's getting, $150,000. I mean, that's pathetic. That is.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie. That means that Codename Steam is like an official failure.
And you know what
unless they have
sucks?
like some sort of like amazing run in the summer, but I don't think we'll ever see another one like that.
And it sucks because that's what intelligence systems, or
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's and everyone I've been saying this like our whole podcast life. Everyone, we need new Nintendo IPs. I ain't buying that though. It's like, why the people who want the newest, the new IPs, the loudest voice, but it's literally like 10 of you guys, I hate that.
We'll see how.
I would have bought it, but it was a poor time where I think I was already playing like another game, and then by the time I finished that, like I finished school, so I wouldn't be playing my 3DS much because I usually play it on like the bus. And
I don't even
running out of money because of gosh dang amiibos. So
yeah, we'll see how Splatoon does, but man, I mean, they definitely lost several million on that game, and I think the worst part is Intelligent Systems worked on the game for like 2 years, and had they put that time on another game, they could have created something that would have appealed to many more people, which is a shame.
Intelligent Systems. I forget what games they worked on. Like, even though I know it wasn't Paper Mario, right? That wasn't them, right?
no, they've worked on Paper Mario. Yeah.
Oh, they did. Okay. I was like, why do I feel like it's the one with the triangle and it's like blue and red, right?
Yeah. Let me just look it up. I'll look up Wikipedia really quick because
And so I feel like post N64 GameCube days, they weren't really doing much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So recently they created Codename Steam, Stretch Mode. They're working on Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem.
That's why we haven't really heard from them. That game's been working on for 30 years. Right?
Yeah, so instead, that's probably what it was. The reason why Shin Megami Tensei X is on a huge delay is probably because of Steam, which is...
Yeah, because, like the brand new IP they made, and it's like third-person shooter with tactical, like Valkyria Chronicles, but it kind of makes sense. Like, I didn't know they were working on Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem, and, we didn't hear anything about it for, since the beginning of the Wii U, so they could have been, they could have took, their main developers, work on the 3DS game, we're expecting big things from it. And also the 3DS is, obviously it's sold better, so they're going to want to, focus on what's selling more, but I guess it kind of bit them in the ass.
All right.
I wonder if not being having the enemy turns take a minute and a half. I wonder how much that actually hurt them.
Yeah, and
but,
they did fix it.
They wouldn't like that demo? Was it really slow in the demo, and that's why people were turned off, or?
Oh, that's probably
what
it was.
Pretty slow in the demo.
Yeah.
You basically wait as long as you've made the turn. Yeah.
All right.
They did fix it, but it was after reviews, so the damage was done.
Alright, so I do want to run through really quick some of the Splatoon details that came out, and then we'll round it out. So pretty much, apparently what happened is that EAD had about 70 ideas pulled together by all the different developers and stuff like that, and Splatoon was chosen. At the beginning, these were all pieces of tofu, shooting stuff at each other. Then they were changed to rabbits until finally they were changed to inklings. Or squid.
The rabbit been too much like the Rabbids from Rayman, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It would have had a fake brand image.
Yeah. So, they also said that they kind of want to target mothers, which is really weird. And then apparently this game was only 10% done at E3 last year. Now, number one, they only had one map done and one weapon and stuff like that. Number one, I guess there was good reason for us to be really skeptical last year because that was only 10% of what the game actually is. And then the other thing, though, is that the fact that they finished a whole game almost in a year, which is really fast for Nintendo.
Well, to be fair, if you look at the game and like what comes in it, there's not a whole like lot. Like there's 5 maps and like short single player, so it's not too surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're still going to be adding stuff in all summer. But let's say by the end of summer, that game is pretty much complete, and there's a lot of maps and the new modes and stuff. I mean, that's still, 15 months, 16 months? I'd say that's quick for a Nintendo game.
Yeah, I was going to say something. I kind of can't remember. The thing with the mothers, but like now it's just like I just can't get it anymore in my head. It seems weird, though. Like, I can't picture that. Like, they're not appealing to, like, 5 to 8 years olds and then old school people with the 90s like game commercial song coming out.
Yeah, apparently they're like, well, mothers will see their kids playing and then they'll want to play themselves. And I'm like, okay, well, good luck.
Good luck era.
All right. So I think that's where we're going to finish out our show. Thanks, everyone.
Wait, who developed Splatoon? Like, is it just Nintendo? No help from anybody?
Yeah, Nintendo EAD. They said that this is the first new character they have created in 14 years, which is embarrassing.
Boy, Mario doesn't count? I mean, they made him HD or...
They made new Mario and newer Mario.
Yo, he's brand new. It's not the same file I copied.
Yeah, so that'll close out our show. I think Splatoon is really fun, honestly, like online. Even though there are only 5 maps, I'm hoping it's going to be worth it by the end of the summer. That game is just really fun to play.
It looks interesting so far. I've seen people playing a demo.
Yeah, I mean, and you have friends, so if anyone of your friends picks that game up, I definitely say try it out. Don't play local because local kind of sucks. But just hop online for like 30 minutes. I think you'll enjoy it. So that's where we'll close out our show. Why don't we go around, as always, just kind of plug anything you like. I am Eli Polisalon on MyGN on Twitter. I write for Nintendo Enthusiast. Our site has been down for like a week, which is really, really bad. But hopefully by Friday it will be up and stable and good. Because we're not in a good place right now. What about you, Brooks?
If you want to find me, you can look for me on my IGN, MilitaryVeteranGamer, or you can hit me up on Twitter at NavyMVG.
All right, and Matt?
All right, I am the Mango Viking on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right, and last but not least, Mike.
Hey guys, I'm Troy Footbuster on Twitter and Twitch. Well, we kind of switched the name of our YouTube channel. Surprise! It's now Regular Gamers. All right, so I think it's still under SMB Gaming 64. So still look under that until we get like 70 more subs, and then we're officially allowed to change our URL.
Oh, how many subs do you need to change your URL?
500.
Oh, all right. Well, good luck.
Yeah, it's a new feature because remember how you used to change names through Google Plus and stuff, and then you could change your URL once. Like now they allow if you have like more than 500, if you go to your settings, you're actually allowed to switch your YouTube channel name, which is kind of cool. But I wonder if like they delete people who are inactive so you can get that name or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question. All right.
All right. Thanks for having me, man. Sorry for coming late.
Man, Mike, what
you
one
know,
of these days?
This is the first time, guys. Come on, like this has never happened. Like Matt, defend my case. Tell him that one time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thanks. See, Matt knows.
Only happens once in a while.
Yeah. Like yo, I blame Flea. He held me up in traffic. Oh my gosh! Get robbed. Yo, there you go.
All right.
So he's been here the whole time.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.